Hello, I'm Gareth Jones, sports editor at BBC Radio Leeds. This is our video preview for Leeds United away at Sunderland in the FA Cup on Sunday. Firstly, we should say a very happy new year to you. They say the camera adds £10, so that's why we are really breathing in today, because we must look massive, Popey, after all the Christmas dinners we've had. On Sunday, the kick-off at Sunderland is at 1 o'clock, so we'll be live on air on BBC Radio Leeds from 12, exclusive FM commentary on 92.4 FM. Plus, it'll be on 774 AM and DAB digital radio as Catherine Hanna and Noel Whelan join the man to my left, Adam Pope. Popey, first of all, the FA Cup. With Leeds in such problems in the league, is the FA Cup a good or bad thing to have now?
Always a good thing, and for Neil Redfern, he's taking it very seriously. Big message, I want to go there and I want to win this tie. It's a big stage and a big chance to try and get some momentum back into the season.
Changes, will we see a few?
Forced into one, certainly, with Stephen Warnock's ankle injury. They don't know how bad it is, but certainly it's not well enough, having injured it against Derby, to play against Sunderland. So I think Charlie Taylor will start, which will only be his third appearance this season, having signed a 3-year deal in the summer.
More young players being involved by the sounds of it there, with the likes of Taylor coming in. There's this debate at the moment between having experienced heads in and I suppose players in form, which are the young players. So how does Redfern juggle it?
Well, I think he'll drop some of the young players for this game and rest them, and maybe put, well, as he says, one or two that have been out in the cold might have to come in and earn their corn on Sunday. But bearing in mind he wants to see a good performance as well, and he said what an achievement it would be to get a result against Sunderland, then I don't think we'll see too many weaknesses in the side, if you like. But I would expect maybe that people like Mowat and Cook may well miss out this game so that they can concentrate on the league, because they've carried the midfield so far.
Could do with a win to boost the confidence and belief for everyone connected with the club after the poor run of form they are on in the league. What do we know about Massimo Cellino's feelings about things at Leeds currently?
Well, the club have been quite clear this week and quite steadfast that they are behind Neil Redfern, and that, as he says, he talks about a process of which he's a cog. He's the head coach, not the manager. It's about him. It's about Massimo Cellino. It's about the chief operating officer. It's about Nicola Salerno. It's about the players. And as far as I can see, that there's no wavering there at this stage. And I think this is a time to be steadfast, and that they have to hold strong and make sure that this building process, which necessarily can take a few steps backwards, needs to bed down. And as Neil Redfern said today, you've got to put it on solid foundations, not on sand. And sometimes that means you go through a bit of pain, and they're going through that at the moment.
They need players in without a shadow of a doubt. Neil Redfern says stuff will happen, although I don't get the impression it's him that's dictating the players who will be signed. Now the transfer window's here. How quickly do you think people could come in, and do we know who?
The indications are that they could have some in by the Bolton game, which is a week on Saturday. Now, the two names that I mentioned are René Krhin, midfielder from Inter Milan, and the striker from Sassuolo at the moment, Leonardo Pavoletti. They haven't trained with the club yet, but I know Neil Redfern has met Pavoletti, likes the shape of him and the frame of him. He's a striker. And Krhin, personally, don't know too much about him at this stage. So they're two players that have been, if you like, selected for him, and hopefully they'll fit the bill. I can't say when we're going to see, or if we're going to see, an experienced Championship player, of course, which is he's in search of. And I would say they probably need one at the back, and maybe one in midfield in particular at this stage. Whether they're going to come at all, I don't know at this stage, but I know that's what he would like.
Finishing with Sunday's game, then repeat of the 73 FA Cup final. Let's hope for a better result for Leeds United. But with Sunderland on a decent Premier League run, what chances are there of Leeds causing what would be a big upset?
It would be an upset, and I think Sunderland, having played, I felt, very well against Manchester City, despite losing the game 3-2 with 5 goals in 16 minutes, defended really well to hold out, and then had the ability, did Gus Poyet, to switch the game and put them on attack alert, if you like, to go and get some goals, and very nearly pulled off a point out of the game. So I was quite impressed with them, to be honest. They've got some tricky customers and players we know about. Adam Johnson, probably one of the best wingers in the Premier League, although his time at Leeds wasn't brilliant, but that was a long time ago. So I think it is it's a tough game. They go in as total underdogs in the game, which is great. Let's see if they can go and get a result. And if they do, it would be a shock, but not as big a shock as when Sunderland beat them in 73.
Well, let's hope the magic of the FA Cup can spark Leeds United's season into life for the rest of this campaign. Important that it does, not just in the Cup, but in the league as well. To find out if they can do just that, join Adam Pope, Noel Whelan and Catherine Hanna live on BBC Radio Leeds from the Stadium of Light, midday on Sunday on 92.4 FM, DAB Digital Radio and also 774 AM.